All right, let's bring in Rich Outzen. He's a retired colonel, a military expert, and a senior fellow at the Atlantic Council. Rich, good to see you again. Appreciate you taking the time for CTV here in Canada. Your thoughts on what's going on here? We've got these attacks, very audacious by the Israelis. Now we're hearing, Hezbollah is promising retaliation, and the Israelis saying we're entering a new phase in the war. Are we about to see an actual military operation by the Israelis, a ground operation into southern Lebanon?
Well, it would be an opportune time to do so, having metaphorically decapitated much of the leadership, the top 4,000 Hezbollah leaders, tactical commanders, and in some case, political wing folks. But I'm not sure that they will launch a ground operation. Nasrallah, in his comments today, was essentially trying to goad Israel into doing that because they know that the sort of long slog war that happened in 2006 with the last major Israeli operation, ground operation into Lebanon, is something that Hezbollah's fighters have been preparing for a long time. But it's interesting every time we call for de-escalation from Washington to remember that Israel is actively under attack now. They've got a real dilemma. They're being attacked every day and have been since last October 7th with rockets and missiles. They've got tens of thousands of Israelis who can't return to their homes. So the dilemma is, do you go in and cleanse that southern Lebanon strip from the ability, which would be a much larger, longer, more painful war, but would allow people to go back to the north of Israel? Or do you do some short, sharp blow, which this also may have been, to just get Hezbollah to back off from the escalatory cycle?
We covered extensively, Rich, throughout the better part of this year, these ongoing talks on again, off again toward a ceasefire. Now it seems like we're further than we really have ever been. Was that sort of an accurate assessment based on what you're seeing?
Well, in the symbolic sense that may be true. Of course, every day that goes by, we get closer to the end of this round of war. All wars end. The problem in this case is that most wars end either through a negotiation between two parties that can actually carry through on the deal, or when one side is utterly overthrown and there's a new political order brought in. Israel, although it has the upper hand in Gaza, has yet to articulate a clear vision for what happens politically in the Gaza Strip if Hamas is ejected. And by the way, they have not successfully ejected Hamas from there. On the other hand, it's not clear that Hamas can reinforce anything other than tactical deals. They can release some hostages, but are they going to really say, okay, we're no longer at war with the state of Israel. We no longer lay claim to the territory of the state of Israel as part of a future Palestinian homeland? I'm not sure they can negotiate on that. So any negotiation would be tactical and temporary, and we're probably looking until there's a new political vision that the United States backs and Israel helps articulate that brings a better future to the Palestinian people. We're just looking at another round of this in a couple of years.
Hey, Rich, I appreciate you taking a bit of time. Great to have you and your insights with us here today on CTV News. Look forward to future chats.